Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, October 22nd. And normally I show the time lapse from the previous day, but we have to look at the video I shot on Saturday. And what a day Saturday was weather-wise, with just a tremendous amount of weather going on. And we'll show you what all happened. But you can see in this picture here, video, lots of wind-driven rain and sleet, grapples, snow, whitened up the ground for a period of time here. And again, it was a pretty nasty day out weather-wise. You just don't see this kind of day too often when you consider what all happened across much of the Great Lakes. And if you watch the Wisconsin game, you can see they were playing in a very heavy snow event for a for a period of time. It didn't last throughout the game, but boy, when it came down, it was pretty interesting to watch on TV. And if we look at what all went on Saturday, well, let me tell you, we had rain, we had clouds, sunshine, hail, grapple, we had snow, we had thunder, we had lightning, high winds, 47 miles per hour here in Breckenridge, and we had water spouts. We had a lot of customers without power, according to Consumers Energy. And in Chicago Midway, they had a wind gust of 60 miles per hour. And meanwhile, in Romeoville, they had a weather report of heavy snow, temperature 37 degrees, with winds sustained out of the north at 39 miles per hour, with gusts to 60 miles per hour, a quarter-mile visibility in heavy snow, and a wind chill of 23. So a very interesting October day happened over the weekend on Saturday. And if we look at the climate data for today, our normal high is 57. Now our normal lows are down to 37 degrees. And back in this date, when my dad was about 2 or 3 months old, we had a record low of 23 degrees. Again, back in 1929. And if we look at yesterday, we had a high of 43 and a low of 33. No precipitation, and from that event on Saturday, we had 0.19 of an inch of precipitation. Again, much of that in the form of rain, sleet, snow, and just a whole mixed bag of precipitation. And that now takes us down to 1.6 degrees above normal for the month of October so far. And as I said last week, that we'd probably end up October below normal temperature-wise, and with the weather we see coming up over the next 7 days, certainly we're going to be continuing to be below normal. In fact, today will probably be the warmest day we see all week long. And sunrise this morning at 8 o'clock. It'll set tonight at 6:43, and our days continue to get shorter as we head towards winter, now down to 10 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. And our final growing degree day reports, I did have a chance to get some of those done over the weekend, and you can see just a tremendous amount of growing degree days. In fact, how much did we have? Well, this is the most growing degree days in 2018 that we've ever recorded here in Ransom Road, and that is about 22 years worth of data. And again, we beat the last year's mark by a good 100 growing degree days. So a tremendous amount of growing degree days. And the only hindrance was in some areas across the state. Planting got off to a pretty late start, especially across southeast lower Michigan. And if we look at temperatures this morning, mainly in the low to mid 30s across the area. The warm spot 36 at Lansing, the cool spot 28 degrees at Newaygo. And if we look at the satellite view, you can see our big ridge off to the west. That's causing the systems to go up near the Gulf of Alaska and then drop down across central and eastern Canada. And again, that's a pretty dry flow for the Great Lakes. And again, most of the moisture well off to our south, and that means we got pretty much a whole week of pretty dry weather as it looks right now, with lots of sunshine. And two things we're going to keep an eye on next week, and we're expecting a pretty good storm to drop out of central Canada down into the Ohio Valley. And meanwhile, we're going to have the remnants of Hurricane Wilma that's going to be flowing up into the U.S., into the mid portions here of the eastern U.S. And again, we have to watch the interaction between these two systems late this weekend and early next week. Right now, it looks like we'd see mainly a light precipitation event. We'd be on the cold side with a mixture of rain, sleet, snow, freezing rain perhaps across the Great Lakes. So Saturday night or Sunday into early next week could be very interesting. And again, things could be a whole lot wetter if things work out right. And that's a system we're going to definitely keep an eye on. And again, that'll be late this weekend into early next week. And if we look at the weather map this morning, you can see really high pressure systems are dominating much of the center of the U.S. And we expect that to be the case all week long as weak systems move off to our north, bringing reinforcing shots of cold air. The first one will be coming in late tonight. So after a nice warm day today in the 50s, primarily 40s for much of the rest of the week, with lows possibly getting down again into the mid to upper 20s as we get into Thursday morning. So that looks like a pretty cold morning. Again, tomorrow, another low pressure system moving north of Lake Huron off to the east. The only areas we suspect will see decent amounts of snow showers or rain shower activity will be the snow belt areas of northwest lower Michigan and into the eastern UP. For much of the MAC and LAC areas, we're going to be dominated by high pressure, and as this high pressure system sets over us for Wednesday night, again, we'll see good radiational cooling in Thursday morning. It looks like it's going to be quite chilly with lows down into the 20s. As far as right now, the expected 7-day precipitation is very meager across much of the state, with heaviest amounts across the south. But again, we're going to watch that system as we get into, again, late next weekend into the earlier week. And like days 6 through day 9, we could see this precipitation increase quite a bit. So right now, though, until we get into next Saturday, we expect very little precipitation across much of the area. So this should be a great week to get a lot of harvesting done. And if we look at the extended outlook, it looks like we're going to be cool and above normal precipitation. It's in this period from around day 8 to day 14. I suspect we could see our first accumulating snows on the ground, perhaps more than an inch of snow. Again, there are no specific systems we're watching, but the overall pattern will be favorable to see some snow as we round out the month of October and go into the first few days of November. And it could even be one of those years where we might even have a little bit of snow on Halloween. Again, nothing that we see right now. As far as the forecast goes, you can see lots of sunshine throughout the week. Then we'll watch that system for late next weekend. Highs today in the mid 50s at least, and then we'll see mainly 40s the rest of the week, with temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s for the most part once we get past that cold front for tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.